Greetings, beautiful people. This is Sbfavorthinking podcast, and my name is Sbfavor. How are you doing today? It is September 24th, 2020. It is a Thursday. It is a Thursday to be thankful and, of course, focused on what is good again. And when I say focus on what is good, I'm not saying to not act like nothing bad is happening, but what I am saying is focus on something that is good to remain happy. There's so much going on in our country. But before I get started, I just want to say thank you to all of you that are praying for myself and Rebecca. We both had death in our families last week, and it's been a challenging time the last 8 days, but all is well. God is still good, and He is taking care of our families. Me and Rebecca normally do the podcast on Tuesdays, and we didn't do a podcast this Tuesday because we just both, of course, like I said, we both had death in our families, and we just needed that break. And but hopefully we will be back on Tuesdays next week. But like I said, thank you so much for praying for us. You are appreciated. But I just want to start off by sharing this quote I have. I feel the need to talk about hope because I think that in this hour, we all need hope because there's so much going on. Martin Luther King, this quote is about hope. He stated, "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope." I'm going to read that quote again. It states, "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope." Well, that quote has two key words in it: finite and infinite. Disappointment comes to an end, y'all. Excuse me. Disappointment has a time limit. And that word finite, it means end. It has an end. So we can't lose hope. And the other key word is infinite. And we know infinity means never ending. We know that in God there is no end to hope. It is eternal. And we know that in this trying time that we're in this country, with race relations and the pandemic, we must keep the hope. Yesterday, September 23rd, Wednesday, we all were watching the news, and we received the news about the officers that were not charged with the death of breonna-taylor. 1 out of 3 officers was charged for shooting at another apartment that was not breonna-taylor's apartment. But no one was charged for her murder. And once again, it has left us all in a place of being disappointed, grieved, and sad. Why? Because when these things continue to happen, you kind of just get tired. You get tired of hearing about it. You get tired of seeing it. You just get tired. And so what I'm saying to you listeners, I'm saying to you not to give up on hope. We do have hope in God. We do have hope that the infinite power of God will change these situations that are happening in our country. We must continue to believe that prayer will change it. And of course, we do have to take some type of action. Violence is never the answer to anything. So I would never agree or condone violence in any kind of way. But we do have to vote. If you never voted before, or if you are contemplating on not voting, you have to vote this November. It's not an option. We have to do our part to bring about a change in this country. Breonna-Taylor, a young woman in her apartment, sleep, relaxed for the evening, killed. And I just believe that some way, somehow, God will have the last say in this matter. I will continue to pray for her family and do my part as a black woman. You know, when you talk about racial situations, some people tend to think that just because you talk about racial issues that sometimes you might be a racist yourself. But guess what? You have to address what racism is. You have to address what hate is. And you have to address it from a place of humanity. And when you address it from the place of humanity, you will see both sides of the matter. No man or woman, no matter what color they are, deserves to be treated unequally. God made us all the same in terms of being flesh and blood. So nobody deserves to be mistreated. Like I said, I believe that God will have the last say in all of the racial issues and everything that is going on in this country. I don't think that these things are just going to continue to happen and people are going to continue to suffer. I believe that there will be a change. What will that change be? I don't know, but I believe that there will be a change. I pray for justice for Breonna-Taylor. I pray for justice for George Floyd and all the other men and women that have been affected by racism, police brutality. I want to make one thing clear also before I continue to go on. I respect the police and their job and what they are called to do. I respect them. But once again, what is right and what is wrong is wrong. We know that all police officers are not corrupt. We know that all police officers are not racist, whether it be black or white or any other race. But we know that we have an issue in this country. So I'm talking about this because I want people to have hope, despite the fact that the situation is bad. We got to call it what it is. But I want you to have hope. I want you to believe that there will be a change. If we become fixed on projecting something that is bad or negative, it's not going to help none of us. So I hope that if you're listening to this podcast, I hope that you will take a minute and pray and do your part and make sure that you vote this November. Make sure you tell your family members to vote, your friends, your neighbors, your teenagers, the ones that can vote. Make sure that you do your part to get people to vote. We can't let this time become something that we just allow to fall by the wayside. We all have our part to do to bring about a change. So, I'm going to read Martin Luther King's quote again, because this quote it brings me hope. And it states, we must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. And remember those two key words: finite and infinite. God has the last say, and a change will come. We will continue to say her name, Breonna-Taylor, and hope that change will come soon. Thank you so much for listening to Sbfavorthinking podcast. If you need to reach me, you can reach me at sbfavor@yahoo via email. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Please subscribe to my channel on YouTube. And like I said, we must hold fast to hope. Thank you so much for listening, and have a good day.